So we're here in beautiful Palma, Mallorca, just outside Puerto Portal. I'm here with David Lund from Super Yacht Partners. I'm Julian Calder, also at Super Yacht Partners. And we are rafted up on NADEJDA and IVANKA, a pair of Shipmans, 2009, 2010. IVANKA is a Shipman 80 and NADEJDA is the Shipman 72. We're here just to do a comparison of the two boats. Why would you choose one rather than the other, and what makes these boats so special? David, you were captain on NADEJDA for a while, so you can tell us all about this boat.
Yeah, that's right, Julian. So back in 2012, I think I started on NADEJDA. She was a fairly new boat then, 2009 model, and we sailed all over the world. I mean, took her across the Atlantic twice, and east coast of the States, Bermuda, all over the Med, right up to northern Greece. So I did a few miles on the Shipman, and can honestly say it was some of the best sailing I've done. It was a lot of fun.
Well, they're super lightweight, aren't they? So performance,
exactly, yeah.
Performance cruisers.
Performance boats, lightweight, super versatile as far as the shallow draft, lifting keel, twin rudders, and really, really easy to sail short-handed. So we'll go through the points of the boats, but it's as an overall package for a cruising boat that's got fantastic performance and easy to handle.
I think good value, super pretty. I mean, good looking boat. I wouldn't consider a boat not pretty, and they really are gorgeous boats. Even 10, 12, 13 years down the line, they still hold their lines really well, I think. Amazing
backdrop here, but like seeing the two boats side by side, they just look sleek and fast. They really just want to unleash and go, and it's testament to the designers. J&J. I mean, these boats are over 10 years old now, but both looking amazing. Had a lot of investment as far as they're both one-owner boats from new, so same owners on both
Always
boats.
A good sign when people hang on to their boats for
absolutely.
10 years
I mean,
or so.
They've looked after them. You can see that they've treated them with amazing amount of sort of love and care, and they've always been fully crewed boats. So they've always had captains looking after them full time, which really shows now. We're looking at amazing value for money. I mean, NADEJDA the 72, we're asking 1.45 VAT paid, and IVANKA just under €2 million ex-VAT. So I mean, for a lot of boat for the money.
Just talking about the price, I mean, so we're $500,000 more on IVANKA. She's 10 foot or so more. That's quite a bit more volume, I guess. But what more do you get for that extra $500,000?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. I mean, I think you'll see when we go sort of through the boats, it's more obvious internally. The boats are fairly sort of similar on deck, I would say, and performance-wise as well. But you do obviously get the increased volume. So I'd say for people looking to spend maybe longer periods of time on board, and maybe more of a full-time crewed boat, IVANKA is probably where you see
probably
that.
The one to choose.
Yeah, exactly. You've got bigger aft cabins, a bigger sort of, let's say, saloon and a separate galley, whereas NADEJDA, the 72, I'd say is maybe for shorter periods of time on board. Fantastic big full beam master, as both boats have, but the guest cabins aft are a little bit smaller, so probably suited more to a family or kids.
And the layout's the same on both boats, so I know IVANKA reasonably well. So we've got two aft cabins, we've got saloon, we've got galley on the port side. Forward of the saloon we have a master cabin on both boats, full beam, beautiful. I know forward of IVANKA we have the crew quarters there for two people.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we have in NADEJDA? Is that the same there?
Actually have the same there. So you have the same thing. You can go through two internal sort of watertight bulkhead doors on each boat, and then you have a crew cabin which is accessible from the deck on both boats or internally. Okay. So crew bunks and a head for two crew. Beautiful. So I'd say on NADEJDA you could run that boat very comfortably as a competent sailor without a crew, and probably the boat's a little bit simpler in that respect. Whereas IVANKA is probably that bigger volume. It's a slightly bigger boat. You're probably looking at more like a crewed yacht. So I guess you get that extra space, and that's what you're looking at.
So both short-handed performance cruisers, but with IVANKA you got a bit more space for crew and a bit more space in general if you want to be on board longer. I think what's crucial with these boats, I mean, that's the performance. They're not racing boats, but how are they at anchor? How are they for cruising? How do you enjoy the water? For me, is the most important thing on a boat like this. How does it work at the stern there? What have we got for toys and access to the water? So
basically on the stern you've got fantastic full beam swim platform doors.
Let's go and have a look.
Yeah. So basically you can access then to the tenders. We've got both boats have got tenders on sort of pull-out dollies that make it. They're basically it's one person or 1 to 2 people to launch the tender.
And how big are the tenders that we can fit in here?
So on IVANKA you've got that slightly big tender, 3.45 Williams jet tender.
Okay, beautiful.
which is great. And again, you know, I guess for cruising it just offers a bit more in terms of what you can do with guests. But we can pop down, again, a really nice feature on both these boats is that you've got, instead of the standard sort of ladder down to the swim platform, on these boats you just have a nice stairway.
Yeah.
Makes it super safe, super easy for, you know, young and old.
Super yacht, not...
yeah, super yacht, and an 80 footer. You just don't see this on other 80 footers.
You don't.
The risk of getting a little bit wet down here, you've got you know, huge swim platform, great platform for the whole family to be, you know, playing water sports, paddle boards, swim ladder.
In and out.
And we've got the same over on NADEJDA. So, yeah, the package works really well. Most boats of this size, you'll see a small little fold-down door, but it just doesn't offer the same.
If anything, yeah.
Yeah, if anything. So, you know, again, in a 72-footer and an 80-foot package, it's phenomenal, really.
I'm just looking at the rigs here, and you can see clearly we've got two different types of rigs here. Do you want to talk me through the rigging on the two different boats, the maintenance it's had, and what we know about it?
So basically, both rigs actually have just been out this last winter. So on NADEJDA, the 72, you've got the EC6 carbon rigging, which is an upgrade. The owner was more into the performance.
So lighter,
sailing.
stronger.
Lighter, stronger, but also probably requires a little bit more maintenance as far as servicing. But that boat's just had its 10-year service of rigging, so you've got 10 years now before the rigging needs to go back to the manufacturer. So the rig's just been painted again, all the rigging checked, all the fittings have been tested, so that rig's gone back in just this spring. IVANKA's the same, the rig's just been out. She's got the nitronic, more traditional stainless rod rigging, but again, it's all been NDT tested, serviced, and gone back in, so the boat's good to go. All the hydraulics have been serviced, etc. as well.
Taken to pieces, dye tested, put back together.
Everything's been checked. So for a buyer coming in, it's a great sort of reassurance that there's nothing to do, you know, above the deck, which is always a you know, common concern with sailboat buyers. You know, that's all there. The reports have all been done. The boats haven't done any sailing since the rigs have gone back in, apart from test sailings. So
been no stress on the rigs.
There's been no use, no stress. So they effectively got a clean bill of health. They're ready to go.
Okay, and they're used quite lightly, not raced, neither.
No, exactly. So I mean, in the case of IVANKA, she's been a cruising boat, and the rig went back in Barcelona last month. The boat's come here. We've done one test sail on the bay, make sure everything's working. But apart from that, she's like clean bill of health, ready to go. Same with NADEJDA. We did the photo shoot. We did 2 hours of sailing and brand new Doyle Stratus sails, beautiful new sails.
Sail looks beautiful, I must say. It's a good looking sail.
Again, like 2 hours of use, that's it, on the main and the jib. IVANKAs are a couple of years old now. They're the North Sails 3DI Endurance, but they're amazing sails, in great condition.
Good cruising sails.
Fantastic cruising, really hardy. Both boats, as far as rigs and sails are concerned, are in really good shape, like as good as you can get, really.
Okay. And underneath, what do we talk about underneath? So they're both lifting keels. We've got 4 meters, I believe, on IVANKA.
Yeah.
And
so both the same actually. 4 meter keel down, and then 2.5 meters the keels up. So really allows you to get into these nice and close to the rocks, into the sandy bottom. That's one thing you really notice on these boats is that, you know, you might be on a Swan 80 or a fixed keel boat, and you're another 100 meters out into the anchorage.
You've got 5 meters underneath
this boat, you've got blue water. The kids are having a great time. Nobody's scared of the dark water.
Sure.
You're almost in with the catamarans, which is amazing. Yeah, so I think breeze has just come up, which is, well, great because we want to go sailing, but also it's like 40 something degrees Celsius, so welcome to have a bit of breeze and to go for a little yacht this afternoon. We're just leaving the anchorage in Yachts, sort of next to Porto Portals. I'm going to head out into the Bay of Palma and put the sails up on the 2 Shipmans. No doubt it's going to turn into a race. I think Julian and I have been dying to get on the helm of these boats and get the sails out. So probably enough talking about them and time to go and show what they actually can do. So I mean, Julian, this is your first time sailing on one of these Shipmans yesterday. So we had a bit of fun at anchor and some lunch, and then the whole idea of these boats is to anchor up, awning away, swim platform up, and get sails up and go.
As a platform for that, they're outstanding, I've got to say.
So I mean, it was fun, wasn't it? We went off here on NADEJDA on the 72, brand new set of sails, polished hull, clean anti-foul. We had the drone up filming. We got the boats sailing side by side, upwind, and I think max I saw was maybe 11 knots of true breeze.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge amount of wind, but the boats flew. I was amazed. I mean, I haven't sailed that boat before, obviously, and it dropped straight into the groove. I think in about 20-30 seconds, you just felt it in the groove, and it was away. It was beautiful, I thought, and then you came smoking past me. So how did that happen?
Well, I mean, I did ask you to slow down, so it wasn't exactly fair. But then, what was it? The boats were fairly evenly matched. We threw a few tacks in, and it was a lot of fun. I thought, it's good to match them up, to compare the boats, I guess. And I guess the bottom line result is they're pretty similar performance, at least upwind and light breeze. So
I think in the second, actually maybe it took me a little while to find the groove actually, because I think for the second half of that, like hour and a half or so, I would stay just ahead of you, and it felt really comfortable. Maybe you were just letting me run, I don't know, but
I don't think anyone does. But that's the fun thing. I mean, you can get on these boats and just go sailing, and it's so easy. I mean, we're both sailing with just one other crew member.
Well, I can't wait to see the footage, because it looks like it's just me and you, match racing single-handed.
Yeah, I mean, you had obviously Captain Dan, I had Captain Brad, and between two people on each boat, you're just sailing, and it's so effortless. I mean, barely even touch the hydraulic winches. We could just tack by hand.
And they go through the breeze so quickly. The tacking was just easy. Bang.
I mean, you almost over-tack, don't you? Because it's
let it breathe, come back.
Yeah, it's but it's a lot of fun, and I think that's really the sort of overwhelming thing with these boats, is that for someone that wants to have fun, like maybe has come from smaller boats, that still wants that sort of in touch with the water and the performance of get up and go sailing quickly.
It was as much fun as I've had on the water in quite a long time, I've got to say. I think probably my favourite moment was when we were side by side. I think the wind was behind you, were the windward boat, we were really like side by side. The slots on both boats looked really nice, and then the drone came flying through the slot between the two of us. I thought that was an amazing moment.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. But it's maybe somebody that's come from like even started on dinghies. That's what it feels like. You can throw the boats through tacks.
You're right. It's like
bulletproof.
It's like a big dinghy.
You don't have to worry about runners or inner forestays or any of that sort of like clutter. It's just
bang. Bang.
It's just tack and go, and the same as far as downwind sailing. It's so easy to set up with a retractable bowsprit. You just set it up, connect, hoist the bowsprits out, and off you go. Same with a code sail, just off the breeze.
I'd love to do that. We got time tomorrow?
I wish we did. I wish we had more time, but I mean today would have been great with the code sails up. But as always, we're probably doing too much talking and not enough sailing. So.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we? Cool, so we've moved inside now, taking advantage of the aircon. It was a little hot out there. I think it's the hottest day in Palma that it's been for some time. Yesterday.
Plus 40 degrees, I think.
It was a hot day. So we moved inside to have a look at the saloon. Super nice saloon. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see with the camera, pretty much 360 degrees from where we're sat. You can see out into the cockpit as well. We've got glass for the companionway and next to the companionway. So you can see what's going on outside. You've got a good connection to outside. We also have 3 panels here as well. So we have glass. So really, there is a lot of natural light coming into this space.
A lot of natural light, and you can also open these 3 small deck hatches and
you get some
let the breeze through. If maybe when it cools down a bit in the evening and you don't want to have the air conditioning running, you can actually open all the hatches up through the boat and have the fresh air flowing through.
Beautiful.
I think it's a really nice space. I mean, this is it's really comfortable. This table folds out and both sides.
Oh yeah, so coffee or stroke dining.
Yeah, so you can sit basically 3 people each side and 1 at each end. So you've got an 8-seat dining table here. Got a couple of sort of seats on the other side as well. And the
like a cigar lounge, bar kind of vibe.
It's a very sort of encompassing space. Like you said, you've got the fantastic view all around, lots of natural light. So it feels a little bit more like being in a sort of an apartment rather than.
It's relaxed actually, and it doesn't feel like you're in the bowels of a boat in a saloon.
And it's little things. I mean, like they've thought about all the detail. When you come down from the cockpit, down through the companionway, the steps are actually like house-sized steps. Like, you know, they're not, you're not
And
climbing down shallow steps.
as well.
You're not climbing down a companionway into a sort of, you know, more of like a flush deck boat. And the same down to the master cabin. It's, you know, nice long steps, shallow steps down, and that continues right through. So although there is some level changes, it doesn't feel like it. We feel like we're at the same level as the cockpit.
No, I've noticed in the last couple of days you don't feel like you're stepping up and stepping down and stepping up and stepping over all the time. It's very easy flow to walk through. I think what's also nice is it's nice and light with the woods, but you've got some nice fabrics in here as well.
It's very neutral, isn't it? You know, and again, you know, boats 13 years old, but it all looks, you know, it's so neutral.
Could have been designed yesterday.
Exactly.
It could have come out yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's really nice and light, and I think the quality of the workmanship is held strong. You know, all the veneers are looking good, upholstery's in good condition. I think it's a nice looking boat. So.
I think the other thing I quite like about this is what you don't notice, and what you don't notice is a massive lifting keel coming in. And quite often you'll find on a boat like this, you have this huge intrusion into the salon, and
that's literally it. It's just, you know,
and that looks like it should be there, and it needs to be there to finish the room. In fact,
no, it's really well thought out. I think you know, having the nav desk right there at the same level, they've got great visibility all the way around as well.
Yep.
You got the galley is separate on this boat. So again, you know, for if you're in high latitudes or colder climates, you could be sitting having a nice dinner with your guests if it's too cold.
And the galley's tucked away, and the chef is tucked away.
Exactly. So you've got that sort of separation. Which is really
it's a good point actually, because we were on NADEJDA yesterday, and you saw we had the galley was integral. It was open plan,
the family style,
and I do really like that. I really like that. But I think in a slightly bigger boat like this, it's a huge salon, and it really feels.
I think this is more set up to be a fully crewed boat, you know. And I think that shows with the way that they
just
have
a couple to run it, and
exactly.
And
a captain and a cook stewardess. I think, and you know, that's you know, they've got great access from the galley position to the saloon, and also straight to the companionway to the cockpit. But you know, it can be separate, and then you obviously got the two double guest cabins aft, and then the master, which is huge, full beam master.
Huge. Yeah, I think where this
we should go take a look at it.
Yeah. For sure, this is where the boat scores heavily. I think it's the master cabin and the salon.
So again, like a nice easy transition down to the lower level. So yeah, full beam master. Again, compared to NADEJDA, which we looked at yesterday, the beds are switched around the other way. So this has the aft-facing master bed. So you have the bulkhead here, and then. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a personal preference thing, but this also has, you know, a nice a desk with a TV, sofa on the port side, and then a full bathroom and standing shower.
It's a big bathroom. And,
big bathroom. And you got, like, again here, we've got the hatches open now, fresh air flowing in.
The breeze.
You know, in the evening, shut the generator down, have that lovely fresh air coming in. But again, it's such a neutral palette.
And you see the quality as well. I mean, the carbon details on the hatches around here, everything just feels. It
doesn't feel as quality. Leather stitching on the stainless, you know.
Yeah, underfoot. So often you walk on a boat and you can tell immediately with your eyes shut.
There's no squeaking.
Quality, there's no squeaking. There's no rocking.
No, exactly. And tons of storage on this boat. You know, you've got
a
lot of lockers. Whoop, towels flying out, but. You know, every single space has been utilised. You know, I think there's a lot of cupboard space. You know, you've got TVs and DVDs and books, etc.
Well, what's the sound system? I see you got some nice little Bose speakers in the corner over here, over there,
right through the boat. So in the saloon, and the cockpit and the master cabin here.
Very
so
nice.
you got surround sound with the TV. Then it follows through into the master. But what's really nice is you almost have your own sort of sanctuary down here. It's such a big space.
Yeah,
and it's so light.
It's almost like a suite for a lady.
As you know, sometimes you just want to get away from your guests, kids.
Quite often, yes. Quite often.
And you can just pop down here and quite happily be checking your emails or read a book, relax. You can shut that door and you really have got your own space now entirely. The forward part of the boat is just you.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for spending longer periods of time on board. You need
somewhere to get away. Everybody needs their own space.
They do, and I think that's what this boat does great job of. That you do feel like you've got that sort of separation if you need it. But
yeah. Well, we've had some fun, we put the boats through their paces, and hopefully we've managed to give you an overview of why we think IVANKA makes such a compelling purchase in today's market. But by far the best thing to do is come and see for yourself. Any of our brokers would love to have the opportunity to take you out for a sale. To recap, IVANKA is a Shipman 80, built in 2010, and for sale for the first time with Super Yacht Partners, asking just 1.9 million. She's available for viewings and test sales for qualified buyers in Palma, and you can contact Matt Albert or David Lund for more information about the boat on matt@superyachtpartners.com or david@superyachtpartners.com. You can, of course, find all these details and more on our website, superyachtpartners.com.